Welcome back to part 2 of making a cardboard ukulele. So right now you're taking a popsicle stick and marking the thickness of that strip of cardboard you saved earlier. Right now we're focusing on making the thicker part of the neck, so the length you'll need is the length of the popsicle stick. Once you have your measurements, do a quick outline of the tesseract of the neck. Here's a diagram to guide you. Afterwards, refine all the edges by applying the measurements on the popsicle stick. Add 4 thin tabs on the sides of the outline as shown here. These tabs allow you to glue the model together. With the outline finished, you can begin cutting the model out. Begin scoring all the edges with a pen so that it'll be easier to collapse. I can tell there's something going on. Ours seems to disappear. Everyone is leaving, I'm still with you. It doesn't matter what we do, where we are going to. We can stick around and see this. Fold the model inwards and position the flaps appropriately. We don't care about the young folks talking about the young side, and we don't care about the old folks talking about the old style too, and we don't care about the Add glue to the inner 3 flaps only. Leave the 4th one because it will be hard to let all 4 flaps dry out at once. Notice how Nicole added glue to the 4th flap. Just ignore it and begin collapsing the model as shown. See how she's trying to close that 4th flap? It's not working out, especially when you have to use the clothespins to seal the other flaps. So as stated previously, just leave the 4th flap alone for now and wait for the rest to dry. Once they're dry, now you may glue down the 4th flap. Secure it with a rubber band and leave to dry. Next up, take your popsicle stick and measure the width of the region right underneath the sound hole towards the thicker bulge. This piece that we're about to make is going to support the midsection of the ukulele. Flip your popsicle stick over and, once again, measure the thickness of the strip of cardboard. Find a spare sheet of cardboard and begin drawing a loose sketch of the outline of the piece. The side lengths should correspond to the measurements you just made. It should look something like this. Afterwards, go over the sketch with a popsicle stick, using the measurements as a guide. Don't forget to add the tabs in the appropriate places so that you have space to put glue.
Stuck in her daydream, been this way since 18, but lately her face seems slowly sinking, wasting, crumbling like pastries, and they scream the worst things in life come free to us, 'cause we're just under the upper hand. I'll go mad for a couple grams, and she don't wanna go outside tonight. And in a pipe she flies to the motherland, or sells love to another man. It's too cold outside for angels to fly, for angels to fly.
Now you can cut it out.
Dry house, wet clothes.
Once cut, score all the edges with a pen so that it'll be easier to collapse the model.
Weary eye, dry throat, cool girl, no phone. They say she's in the class 18, stuck in her daydream, been this way since 18, but lately her face seems slowly sinking.
Put some glue on these two flaps and leave the other flaps for later.
They scream the worst things in life come free to us, 'cause we're just under the upper hand. I'll go mad for a couple grams, but she don't wanna go.
Use a couple clothing pins to keep it all together and set aside to let dry.
She flies to the motherland and sells love to another man. It's too cold.
The headpiece from the first part should be dry by now, as well as the neck. If you assemble all the pieces that we currently have, you'll see that the ukulele is coming together pretty well. Hopefully.
Closed eye, I'm hoping for a better life. This time we'll fade out tonight, straight down the line. They say she's in the class 18, stuck in her daydream, been this way since 18, but lately her face seems slowly sinking, wasting, crumbling like pastries. They scream the worst thing.
For this next piece, the only measurement you'll need is the thickness of the strip of cardboard. The outline should look like this. This little piece will be used to add extra support to the base of the ukulele and also provides a surface where glue can be added for the strip that'll go around the edge. You'll see what I mean later when we're assembling it.
It's too cold.
Score all the edges with a pen and cut it out.
Angels to fly. Angels to fly.
Bring back in the piece we made a few minutes ago and take out the clothing pins. Split the final two flaps as shown so that you'll have even more space to add glue. Look closely at what Nicole is doing. Once that's dry, bring back in the 2 peanuts from earlier and lay the one with the sound hole on top of the other so that they align perfectly with one another. Mark the top and bottom of the sound hole so that you'll have guidelines for where to glue your supporting pieces. Here is how we'll be positioning the 2 supporting pieces. The larger midsection piece should be positioned perfectly with the bottom of the sound hole so that it can't be seen. Add glue to the underside and push it down firmly onto the second peanut. While you're holding that down, carefully add glue to the base of that peanut and glue the smaller supporting piece down as well. Set it all aside and let dry for a few minutes.